Hi, this is Destiny from Desfix and welcome back to another video in the hotel management system using Django. In this one, we're going to go ahead and start working with actually displaying all the rooms that we have added in the room selection on a page. That is what we'll be doing. Hopefully you will learn something new and enjoy the video. So let's go ahead and get started. I will open up my code editor, open up hotel, open up views PY. And we need to pretty much write another simple view that will go ahead and get all the selected rooms. So I'll say define selected rooms, and I'll pass in request in here. And the very first thing we want to do is define some constant, not constant variables, but some placeholder variables. Total 0, room underscore count 0, total underscore days 0, adults 0, and children 0. Check-in, let's just put it as 0 but in a string because it's going to be a date, right? And also check out. In fact, you know what, you could even leave that as empty string. And okay, I think for now that's pretty much everything that we need. So total, room count, total days, adults, children, check-in and checkouts. Now, after you've done all this, let's start off by checking if what is the name of the session again? I will open up views PY in booking. This is the name of the session. So if this key is in request.session, that means the user has actually added some things to the session, right? But what if that key does not exist? I'll say else. Then we want to return redirect. Let's import redirect alongside render from Django.shortcuts. So let's just redirect to somewhere else. Let me just say redirect back to the home page. Okay. And you could even give some warning message. So I could say messages dot warning and passing request, and I could say something like no rooms in selection or no selected rooms yet. Okay, but make sure to import message from Django.contrib. Okay, import messages. So after you've done this, then over here, what we simply want to do is go ahead and run a for loop. So I'll say for h underscore id, just a variable, and also another variable item in request.session. Now I want to call this exact session here. So then to grab all the items that are in the session, you just want to say dot items. Okay. Then I will print, let me print h underscore id and also item. Okay. Now with this now, let's go ahead and register the selected rooms in the URLs. So over here, this is going to be a new part and selected rooms. While this one is going to be views.selected rooms, and also name should be equal to selected rooms. Add a comma over here so you don't get that bug. And now let's try visiting selected rooms, but it should throw an error because this function should return something, which should be a template. So this is going to be hotel slash then selected room.html, right? And we need to create this template in the hotel template over here. Create this, and I believe you should already have this code. I'll open up front end template, main template, and grab the selected rooms.html and pretty much put it in here and save. So right now, when we try opening up this URL on my browser, what do we have? Let me make sure that my server is running in my terminal. There you go. As you can see, it's running. So I will open this up on my browser, and let me get down here and just say /selected room. Okay, this is what we have. Let's make this template look a little bit better. That pretty much means that we need to grab everything that we have over here in the room type detail at the top and pretty much put it here. And also we need to finally end block down here, and that should be everything that we need to do. End block content, there you go. That's everything that we want. So right now I will visit this page and check out our terminal. Let's see what we get. See, it returns hotel HID, which is 6, and all this item. That's number 1. And it also returns the second hotel and all the item. Remember in the last video, we added 2 items in the session. That is nice. It's working well as expected. So in this for loop, instead of printing, let's perform some operations. I'll say ID should be equal to, I will convert it into an integer because right now it's still a string. Then I'll say item, and I will grab this hotel ID keyword. Note, when I printed hot item was when it showed this dictionary. That means I can say item and grab the hotel ID from the item like this. I hope that makes sense. Now I also want to grab the, I think I just got the hotel ID there, right? I don't need to grab the hotel ID again. The next thing that I need to grab is check-in. So check-in, and from item I grab check-in. Look at it here. See, check-in, check-out. So grab check-in, grab check-out. Make sure that the keys that you're passing in here is exactly the same thing that you have over here. Grab check-in, grab check-out, grab adults, children, room type, and room ID. So room underscore type and room underscore ID. Okay, so now that you've grabbed that, make this room type to be room type underscore. That is because I want to use the room type underscore to actually get the actual room type, because you know it's just an ID that it's passing in. So to get the actual room type, let's say room type dot objects dot get, and I want to say ID should be what? Room type underscore, because it's an ID that gets returned. Take a close look at it down here. See? So after you've done this, for now, that's pretty much what we want to do. The next thing on my list is to go ahead and calculate the total days based on the check-in date and check-out date. So we pretty much say check-out date minus check-in date. It will give us the time difference. So I want to start off by actually changing up the format of the date. So I'll say date format. The new format that I want to use should be this. Firstly, we have year minus, or just a dash. Then I'll say percent month. Okay. And minus, it's not minus, it's just dash. Okay. Then percent day. So after you've done this, that's pretty much what I want to do. So now let me say check-in underscore date should be equal to, and I want to strip the time, just like reformat it. So for this one, I will say date time, which means I need to import date time somewhere at the top. From, you could say from date time, import date time. That's one thing that we need. Let me also import. Okay, we'll import it when we need it. So we say date time dot strp time, and the new time that we want to pass in is going to be this. The time that we want to change its format is check-in, and the format that we want to use is date format. So now if we print this check-in date, let's see what we have. So we print check-in date, reload this page. Okay, there seems to be an issue. Invalid literal for integer with base 10. 2024. Okay, so what's going on? Okay, I just took a close look at this and look at, we have integer. We are converting the check-in and check-out dates to integer, which is very wrong. So remove that. Even the room type, although you can still leave it as integer, okay? Because we use it to get this. Children should be integer, adults should be integer. Anyone that should be a string. See over here, it's a string. So don't make it an integer, okay? Now let me break out from my server and run it again. And let's reload this page. See? So look at what we have as the check-in dates now. See, 2024 01/17. If for any reason you want to use a slash, you can use a slash and see when we reload this page. Yeah, there is no format like that. Let's just stick with this. Okay. So now this is working as expected. Now we also want to do the same thing for checkout dates. Checkout dates and the time we want to change, or the date that we want to change is going to be the checkout, and this is the date format that we want to use. So after you've done this, let's go ahead and get the time difference. Time underscore difference should be equal to checkout date minus check-in date. Okay, and the total days, total underscore days should be time difference dot days. Because right now we are pretty much grabbing this from the date time, so we can use this date over here. So if we print total days, let's see what we have. Reload this. See, 9 days in total. Let's print the check-in date and the checkout dates to actually see how that came about to be 9 days. So check-in dates, checkout date. All right, then let's wait for our server to reload and let's run this and see. So we actually checked in on the 17th and we checked out on the 26th. That's exactly 9 days. So the total days that we'll be staying is 9 days. You can see how we actually calculated what the total days will be. Okay. So after grabbing the total days, now let's go ahead and say room count should be plus equals 1. So as soon as we loop through this item here, that means one room exists. We append 1 to this room count over here. If we loop through again, we append 2. This is just to know how many rooms that we are actually getting. So after we've also done that, we also want to say days should be equal to total days, which is this one that we have over here. So days, do we actually okay, don't worry, we're gonna do that later. So total days, now we've replaced it with this one that we have over here, right? Now we are passing in these days because there is something that we want to do. Let me say price should be equal to room type dot price. That is why I actually got this room type over here. So now I want to go ahead and check what the total amount is. So total should be equal to, or let's firstly get the room price. So room price should be equal to the price of one particular room times how many days the users. Okay, that's not going to be it. That should be times the room count. And that is because, let me explain what's going on here. Let's say the price of a room is $20. After we loop through this, we append 1 to the room count, right? Let's say at the end of the day, it's turned out that the room count was 3. So it's going to be 20 times 3, which will make up to 60, right? So that's why we said room price should be the price of the room, which is what we grabbed over here, times the room count, which I just made a calculation now that might give us 60, right? And after we've done that, we now need to check the total. That should be room underscore price, which is 60 times days. So they are actually getting 3 rooms. A night is $20. That means they spend $60 a night, and let's say they want to stay for 9 days. So how much are they going to spend in total? Now let's go ahead and print this. So total should be, wait for your server to reload. And now when we run this again, see, total is 540. That is what they will be spending. So for now, that's pretty much everything that we want to do. Let me just say, somewhere over here at the top, I also want to say hotel should be none. Let me do it here. Hotel should be none, so that I could be able to now grab the hotel from here. I would say hotel should be equal to hotel.objects.get, where ID is equal to ID, which is this one that we grabbed over here. So after we've done this, that's pretty much everything that we want to do, guys. Now, if I get back here and print hotel, let's see the hotel that we are getting. See, it gets the premium hotel. That is cool. So now I can get rid of this, and all we need to do now is create a new context where we can now pass in all these informations into. So remember, I did something here. If selection data is a request.session, else we return redirect. So if there is data in the request.session, what I want to do is pretty much show the templates down here. Okay, so I just brought up the templates. I brought it up from down here all the way to this section. As simple as that. And now I want to create a new context for this template just here. I will say context should be equal to, and let's start off by passing in data. That one should be quite simple. We've done that before. Requests.session, and we just like want to pass in the session back to the front end. So I will say request.session, and this is the session we want to pass back in. So we need the total selected items, just like we've done before. Just wrap this in a len. Okay, len, wrap it like that. And this should be total underscore selected items. I believe we have done this somewhere before in the views for booking. And after that, you can now add in the total, which is the total amount. Duplicate this, add in the total underscore days, add in the adults, add in the children, add in check-in, check-out, and hotel. Check-in, check-out, hotel. So check-in, check-out, hotel is pretty much these over here, okay? So all this data we are able to be passed into the context, despite the fact that we are in here, just by pretty much defining them over here from the beginning, okay? And for now, I think that's pretty much everything that we need to do. Let's go ahead, and I believe we have set check-in over here, check-in and check-out, right? Let's then go ahead and pass in this context into the template somewhere here. And by doing this now, if we come over to the selected rooms, we can now start doing things like pretty much looping through things in the room and showing up a couple of things. Let's start with displaying the room types over here. So somewhere here in the selected rooms, in this li, I'm going to run a for loop. I will say for ID and item in data. So remember the data that we passed into the context here. But remember that when we run a for loop like that, we have to append items to be able to grab all the data all the items that's in this session. So you want to say data.items, okay? And wrap this li with the for loop and fix your indentation. And now see, we have 2. That is great. So let's start changing up a couple of things. We will start off with the room name. Instead of king room, make this item dot room underscore name. See, luxury. Instead of 5 beds, make this items dot number of beds 1. And I think for now that's pretty much everything. Then change up this price over here. Instead of 199, make it item dot room underscore price. And see, 30. That is great. Now let's change up all this data that we have over here. The very first thing here is the image of the hotel, which is path to hotel. I will just say hotel.image.url and see the hotel. Then also change up the hotel name. So hotel.name, and let's see the hotel name. And you can start doing things like hotel.address. Just change up all this. Hotel.address, hotel.mobile, hotel.mobile. See, for now we don't have rating and reviews. We'll do that later. So for the check-in and check-out and all that, just replace this one with check-in. Now see, it's gonna have the new dates for the check-in. See, 2024 1/17, and also do the same thing for the checkout. Also do the same thing for total underscore days. Instead of 2, it should be dynamic adults. Instead of 3, it should be dynamic children. For the VAT, we can leave it as it is for now, and I will go ahead and work with the total here. Total should pretty much be total. Now let's reload this. See, 540 is the total. So you can actually run this calculation yourself. We've got check-in and check-out. Total days is 9 days. So they are staying for 9 days, and each room costs $30. Now you can check how much that is. So I think that's pretty much everything that we want to do for now. They're getting 2 rooms, right? Yeah, they got 2 rooms. So 2 rooms, let's perform this calculation real quick. 2 rooms, $30 per night is $60, and they're staying for 9 days. So 60 times 9 is about 540. That's right. So guys, that's pretty much it. As you can see now, we can show selections over here, and everything seems to be working perfectly well as expected. Let's go ahead and, okay, we should do this in the next video. I believe we've actually gone pretty far into this video, and we can end it off here and now. In the next one, we're going to be able to fill up this information here and hit continue to check out. Then we'll create a new checkout object in the database based on the information that we have in the session. We will then save it in the database and redirect the user to a checkout page. That is what we're doing in the next video. Hopefully you will enjoy the video and learn something new. Do make sure to check out some of the courses in the description below. For example, the Django React e-commerce course should actually help you become a better Django React developer. And also the Create Your Mobile Banking app, the YouTube clone, the Facebook clone. Those are some pretty good courses that will actually get your hands dirty and your feet strong with Django and React in general. That's going to be it. I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, mad love. Peace out.